I didn't come here to come in second place.
It begins with a dream. Defending champion David Levin dreams of keeping his crown. Top-ranked balloonist Bill Bussey dreams of winning the one title that has eluded him. And other balloonists, like Bill Cunningham, just dream of seeing their names splashed across the sports page. A scrapbook of the 1990 Nationals is filled with many memorable pages. The awesome and inspiring sight of a nighttime balloon glow, the beauty and grace of a mass morning ascension, and the remarkable precision of pilots who either reach or miss their marks, not by steering their crafts, but by merely gauging the wind. This is a story of a classic battle, man versus nature. A story of glory for those blessed by gentle breezes. Of frustration for those cursed by unforeseen gusts. But mostly of balloon pilots who come to Baton Rouge and quietly intrude into God's space, trying to gain their own little piece of immortality.
Welcome to a special edition of Sports Sunday.
Hello, and welcome to our tribute to the 1990 U.S. National Hot Air Balloon Championships. This program is dedicated to the 103 pilots who came here in search of the winning combination. A small bit of experience, a good deal of skill, and a small dose of luck. Our story begins not on day one of the competition, but actually several days before. Not in Baton Rouge, but in Longview, Texas. And not with a full-time flyer, but with a dedicated dentist instead.
It's true, everything is big in Texas. Like Longview, home of the huge Eastman Kodak plant. The great East Texas oil field, and Stroh's big brewery. It's also the home of Dr. Bill Bussey, who not only has a big reputation as a dentist, but also as a balloonist. The same hands that delicately handle dental instruments to fill cavities, fire up burners to fill huge hot air balloons. Bussey flies the red and white of old Milwaukee, and he's the #1 ranked balloon pilot in America.
Now for something a little different, do you know how popular professional wrestling is right now? Popular enough that athletes such as Karl Malone and Dennis Rodman have tried it. And a former wrestler, of course, just got elected governor of Minnesota. It's by far the most watched programming on cable TV. Now, what could be better than wrestling in a ring, but wrestling while racing around a track? That's the idea behind the rebirth of roller derby, retooled for the new millennium as Roller Jam. Our Tim Weigel looks not only at its future plans for Chicago, but at its historic roots right here in our hometown.
Some of us were around for those old roller derby days when jammers and blockers laced up the skates and circled a bank track for thrills and, of course, spills. Well, those thriller spillers are back, but they're not your father's roller derby anymore. It's a millennium makeover. Roller derby reborn as Roller Jam. A rock 'em, sock 'em, trash talking.
Don't even talk to me. Don't even talk. You're gonna get thrown out of the game. Yeah, right. Watch.
High-speed slugfest set on inline skates, combining the jamming of a NASCAR track with the slamming of a pro wrestling ring.
We dominate, baby. We dominate.
Two teams, either all male or all female, have 60 seconds to break out of the pack and pass members of the opposing team. It's really not all that different from the old roller derby, which just happened to be born right here in Chicago.
This is where it all began, on this street corner of Chicago and Rush on Chicago's Gold Coast 65 years ago. A marketing magician named Leo Seltzer scribbled down some rules on a tablecloth at a popular Chicago sports hangout called Johnny Ricketts. It combined America's love of roller skating with the need for fun and entertainment during the Depression. Leo called it roller derby. And it was here at the corner of 16th and Wabash at what used to be the old Chicago Coliseum that the skaters took to the bank track for the first time. It was August 13, 1935.
They go round and around and around at the roller derby.
By the late 1940s, the rules were refined to accommodate America's new mass medium as roller derby became one of the original made-for-TV attractions.
There they go!
One of those early teams was the Chicago Westerners.
Well, from 44 to 46, I was with Chicago.
And one of its stars was five-time All-Star Mary Lou Palermo, better known as Little Lulu.
I had a bad habit. I used to bite. There they go. That's me with the pigtails, 65. Now the idea is to stop the other team from getting out on a jam. You got to knock them down or take them back. Well, that's one way.
We just had some remarkable skaters.
One Chicagoan who caught and called most of that action was announcer Howard Mendelson, known back then as Howie Miles.
Freddie Noah, rather, was the one that got the five-pointer. Joe Cosmo picked up two, and that puts the score at 18-10.
I was just lucky enough so that I seemed to have a flair for it and picked up on the excitement of the game.
Will today's kids get into the excitement of the new roller derby?
It has some fighting in it, so it's pretty cool. I think it's cool.
Roller Jam promoters are counting on the sport's affinity with pro wrestling and the American public's lust for high-speed, hard-hitting entertainment in order to avoid the financial potholes that shut down the old derby tracks in 1973. They're even rolling out a new Chicago team, the Illinois Terror, that starts skating this fall.
It must make your heart sing, though, to see something you helped build way back when come back around now.
Well, I think so. I'm very pleased to see it, and I really do think it's going to be a success.
This has got to be interesting. I got to see this in person.
The Illinois Terror and the Roller Jam promoters hope others share your curiosity, Mary Lou. Tim Weigel, News 2, Chicago.
You can already enjoy Roller Jam Friday nights at 7 on cable's TNN, the Nashville network. Sorry you already missed it. You have to catch it next week. For more information, click on the show's computer site, www.rollerjam.com.
A very famous and frightening movie was made at the Homus House Plantation back in 1964. And this evening, Leo Honeycutt pays a special silver screen tribute in his own vintage way.
I'm running. Chop, chop, sweet Charlotte. Chop, chop, till he's dead. Chop, chop, sweet Charlotte. Chop off his hand and head. To meet your lover you ran. Chop, chop. Now everyone understands just why you ran to meet your love. Chop, chop, to chop off his head and hand.
I'd been driving all afternoon after that plantation party. Got lost somewhere along Old Man River. Then up near Burnside, I happened up on a house that looked oh so familiar. I decided to stop and ask the proprietor of this strange and interesting place if perchance there'd be a room to rent.
Excuse me, is anybody home? Trick or treat.
Get off my property, I'll shoot! Where you are, I could spit in your eye with no strain at all.
Well, what a lovely thought. I don't think anybody's ever spit in my eye before.
I told you to get off my property.
Now, you don't mean that. Besides, it's a state law. You gotta be nice to me.
Just because some old fool in Baton Rouge signed a little bitty piece of paper doesn't make it so. Nobody ever asked.
Well, we rocked on like this till nightfall when she suddenly, mysteriously, strangely even, invited me to some blowout party that night. About halfway through the finger food, she told me to meet her in the summer house. It was a funny way that she said she needed to ask me a question.
Ma'am, is that you?
Oh, no!
Yep, it was bad enough that I found out she was a computer hacker. But hey, I'm cool. I had a little joke of my own when I went to bed down for the night.
Wow, that hurt! Okay, that's it, lady. Forget it. I don't know who put the Tabasco in your buns, but I'm out of here. History, bye.
Excuse me, sir. Are you here for the tour or are you going to sleep?
I don't believe it. I just dreamed that I was in Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte with Betty Davis.
The movie was filmed here at Homer's house, but it was just make-believe.
Chop, chop, sweet Charlotte.
Fantasy, what a wonderful thing. Leo Honeycutt, Channel 2 Eyewitness News, Homer's house.
Sweet Charlotte, chop off his hand and head.
Well
That was
done.
good.
That was good.
That was
Man, I
funny.
hadn't seen that one before. By the way, our thanks to the good folks at Homa's House, as well as to our own Clark Ruffner, Bobby Swallow, John Leonard, and B.J. Diaz for their help on this project. And, of course, thanks to Leo. That was great.
That's right. By the way, the original Hush Hush Sweet Charlotte will be on the American Movie Classics tonight on Halloween. So you may want to watch that this evening.
That's right.